Well, hello to all of the members of the BD Nation that have joined us tonight for episode 20 of CBD 101, where tonight Dr. Sharma is going to be giving some specific counsel regarding CBD and immunity. But before I turn the mic over to Dr. Sharma, let me just tell you that from my location here in Salt Lake City, Utah, it is an incredibly beautiful ByDzyne summer evening. I'm sitting here in an outdoor park location. It's 90 degrees here in Salt Lake City right now, or 32 degrees centigrade for those of you that might make a little bit more sense. And I don't know if you can see the beautiful blue sky and the green trees in back of me, but it's really a beautiful setting. And I'm super excited to be learning some additional details about CBD from this incredible man, Dr. Sanjeev Sharma, who is the Chief Scientific Advisory Board member. We always are more than happy to share the accolades of Dr. Sharma. One that sticks out in my mind is having treated in excess of 35,000 people on CBD. Dr. Sharma, instead of just giving the normal traditional introduction, I'd like to just banter back and forth with you for just a moment before I turn the mic officially over to you.
Sure.
I'm thinking in this term. CBD is one of those things that in my experience, and as I look around at the world of nutrition and the world of skincare right now, would you agree with me if I said that CBD is clearly one of the most significant, one of the most important trends right now in the world of nutrition as well as skincare? Would you agree with that statement?
I would wholeheartedly agree with that statement. Absolutely. It's everywhere.
Because I remember a few years ago, having been involved in network marketing for many years, I remember, for example, the superfruit revolution. And I was even involved very significantly, I might add, in a company that was largely responsible, or at least in a very big way, in the network marketing arena for bringing the acai fruit to the world's use. Well, I'm kind of thinking that to the extent that the superfruit revolution was also a very significant development in network marketing, well, the CBD revolution is taking the world by storm. Not only network marketing companies, but products all over that are formulated with CBD. Again, do you agree with my very enthusiastic recommendation for CBD?
Absolutely. Absolutely. And it helps so many different parts of the body. I mean, we've talked about in CBD 101 where it will help people with specific things like diabetes and lipid metabolism. It'll help with inflammation, whether it's topical or whether it has to do with joints. There's so many things that CBD can. So I wholeheartedly agree that CBD is taking the world by storm.
So from your perspective as a physician who has designed and formulated these physician formulated products, these CBD products at ByDzyne, would you tell our audience, is the CBD trend, is it something that is only happening in certain countries or in a region or two of the world, or does it really have a global sweep right now in terms of the importance of CBD?
So global sweep, I think it's important for everyone out there to also we've talked in the past about knowing exactly what's in it. ByDzyne is a company that leads the way in being transparent and sharing with people what's exactly in any of the formulations. Very few companies do that. So it's important that people understand, yes, CBD is taking the world by storm, but there's so many products out there that really aren't clear about what's in them, aren't necessarily effective for what they say that they can do. So
fantastic. You know, one of the things that struck me before, and I'm reminded of again today, that I believe brings your level of expertise to such a highlight here at ByDzyne is not only are you trained by way of education as well as practicing in the traditional world of very sophisticated medicine, cardiopulmonary surgery, for example, and your traditional training as a physician, but you have also become a world-renowned practitioner of alternative health-related arts, which I think puts you in a wonderful position to be able to really teach people and educate people from both perspectives of traditional medicine as well as alternative medical and health-related arts. And on top of that, I think that it's very fair to say that of the hundreds and hundreds of people that are experts, I'm proud and excited that at ByDzyne, we've got you, one of the best of the best of the best, one of the most elite men or women who knows such deep knowledge about CBD. So with that little bit of an introduction, let me just tell you personally, a few weeks ago, when I was preparing an article to be published in Business for Home about our ALLUR, our CBD products, wow, oh wow, was I impressed with the fact that I think in terms of quality, in terms of efficacy of use, it might very well be said that the ALLUR products available with ByDzyne are also among the best of the best CBD products anywhere in the world. Let you respond to that as I officially turn the mic over to you for your instruction tonight on CBD and immunity.
Oh, I appreciate it. Thank you so much, Dave. So our products are unique in that when you look at the plant, most people have no idea that hemp has over 1,000 different strains, and each strain has its own essential oils that are going to give it its effectiveness for a particular issue. So CBD overall helps people with inflammation, but we have such unique products that will help people with, say, anxiety or sleep. And that has to do with the other essential oils that are within the ALLUR products. So I wholeheartedly agree with you in touting the ALLUR brand. So I'm going to start by our current episode. We're going to talk a little bit about immunity because I'm sure it's near and dear to people's hearts, especially during this time. I wanted to hopefully answer some misconceptions about what CBD can do and can't do with the immune system, so it's very clear for people. If you have questions, please put them down in the chat, and I'll try to answer as we go. So really, when you look at our bodies are subjected to the environment throughout the day. The most important aspect of our bodies is the skin protects us from the outside world. Even anything that's open, such as our mouths, our eyes, has enzymes, and we have saliva or we have tears that help protect us from the outside world. But when we do have injury, our immune system kicks in. And, we've talked a little bit in the past about how CBD works with the immune system, how CBD interacts, since all of the cells of the immune system actually have receptors for CBD. But CBD's goal is to decrease inflammation. When you look at the immune response to an injury or an infection, we have two types of responses. We have either what's called an innate response or an adaptive response. The innate response is sort of large cells that go around cleaning our body's fluids and eating up the pathogens that might invade us. The adaptive immune response is where antibodies that we produce, our immune system will actually produce antibodies against pathogens and help our other parts of our immune system, especially T cells, find things that are foreign and get rid of it. So like I said, the 5 main actors, we've got B cells, T cells, macrophages, natural killer cells, and dendritic cells. So, but all of these cells work together when it comes to taking care of a pathogen that invades us. When it comes to innate, these two cells, the natural killer cells and macrophages, are really part of the innate immune response. The adaptive immune response, the B cells, are what produces our antibodies that help the T cells do their work. And the DC or dendritic cells communicate between the B and T cells. So everyone's working together to really, anything that's foreign or injury, help repair our bodies. And we've talked in the past, the concept of homeostasis. CBD, or cannabidiol, its goal is to keep our bodies in homeostasis or a balance. We talked a little bit about how the immune system can be looked as a seesaw. If it's overreactive, it's going to actually attack our bodies and can cause autoimmune issues. If it's not active enough, it can expose us to infections or cancer. And in the past, we've talked CBD works. We've talked about what are called PPARs. These are within the brain of each cell of our bodies, and how CBD interacts with the brain of each cell of the body, the nucleolus, through these really special factors called PPARs, and can affect things as diverse as sugar metabolism, fatty acid metabolism, or lipid metabolism, cancer. So lots of different things that CBD has, but the goal when it comes to CBD in the immune system, the main issue is that it's decreasing inflammation. That's really its goal. We talked about how all the different parts of the immune system, as you look here on the left, are going to have cannabinoid receptors. And it's really important because whether it's CBD or other essential oils, we've talked about other essential oils called terpenes in the past, they will have profound effects on our immune system. This is kind of a schematic I pulled to just show, in terms of if the way that CBD works in terms of decreasing inflammation in our bodies is by reducing the amount of inflammatory factors called cytokines. Those are produced by the immune system when we're injured, have some form of inflammation, have some form of infection. So those are released, and the way that CBD will actually help deal with the inflammatory response in our bodies is to actually decrease the amount of these factors. That's what I had so far today, Dave. I don't know if there are questions that people may have posted. Let me see if I can find the chat. Let's see.
Shannon, were there any questions that people were posting for Dr. Sharma?
Just having a look. Dr. Sharma, if you want to stop sharing screen, you'll be able to.
Oh, sure. Sorry. Oh, there we go. I can see the chat symbol now. All right. Let's see if there's.
We do have one question. If someone, and this is from Shannon, not from me, Shannon, another Shannon, if someone only wanted to take either the sleep or stress tincture without also taking the full or broad spectrum, will they receive the benefits of CBD to other possible illnesses or inflammation in the body?
Yes, they will. So CBD is an anti-inflammatory agent. The other essential oils or terpenes are what are helping you take care of stress, help reset our circadian rhythms. So even the sleep product, remember we've talked about dosing, you just don't take it about an hour before you go to bed. you want to take about half a dropper full in the morning and half in the afternoon, because our circadian rhythms are messed up as we get older and older. And it's important to, again, create balance with our circadian rhythms. And the sleep formula will do that and provide all the other anti-inflammatory effects that CBD is known for. Great question. CBD, we've got a question from Marie Belfiore, and she asks about CBD oils help with epilepsy, seizures, and adults. Again, whenever we talk about specific issues, yes, absolutely, CBD can help people that have seizure disorder, but that's a pretty general and broad statement. You'd want to really talk to a medical professional that understands how well to use CBD, because I've had patients that have had seizures, adults, juveniles, and they'll vary in terms of dosing from 25 milligrams a day of CBD up to 150. So you can't really make a very specific in terms of dosing, but absolutely CBD will help people with seizure disorder. Let's see. We've got a question from Nicole Rigato. Dr. Sharma, is broad spectrum safe to take with multiple heart medications? Are there any contraindications? That's a great question. CBD will not have any issues when it comes to heart medications. Really, the other cannabinoid, THC, that's found in marijuana that makes people high is absolutely contraindicated with people that have heart issues because of causing tachycardia or the heart to race. CBD has no issues like that. CBD has no side effects like that. So that's a great question. I think that's most of the questions for today.
Well,
I don't know if we'd...
Any further Shannon, are you seeing any other questions for Dr. Sharma by chance?
No, not at this
Oh,
moment.
there's one from Nicole. There's a final.
Sure, let me answer that question, because again, it's a great question, Nicole. Nicole Rigato, she asks, when would you recommend full spectrum as opposed to broad spectrum? And we've talked about this before. Both are highly effective for inflammation, but there are people that we know that have issues with whether it's employment, that can't have any amount of THC in their bodies because they'll get drug testing. Both are effective for inflammation, but I would just say anyone that has issues, like say they have a commercial driving license, you want to avoid the full spectrum and just stick with the broad, because the full spectrum will have a very minute amount of THC, less than 0.3%. Let's see, we've got one more question. Catherine Gonzalez has asked, should dosage be adjusted based on weight? When it comes to dosage, really, that's a great question. Yes, age has an impact, weight has an impact. I'm a fairly, big person, 6'1", 260, and I do 2 dropperfuls of the tincture twice a day, but someone that's petite would be fine with just one. And we've talked about teenagers and suggested that they do a half a dropperful. So absolutely good, very good question. Let's see. We did get a question from, I think it's Magenda on Facebook, asking, will CBD help fight COVID-19? So COVID-19 is a virus. CBD helps with inflammation. So it'll help in some ways in terms of pain, but it's not going to be a treatment, first line treatment for COVID-19. because that's a virus. Has to do, CBD tends to help the adaptive immune response deal with inflammation, not getting rid of, say, a viral or a bacterial attack. Let's see, we've got a question from Karen Heinrich about immune disorder, sarcoidosis, and the influence of CBD. So sarcoidosis, again, it's a inflammatory issue that has to do with inflammation of the upper respiratory system or lungs, and as well as the upper digestive system. So I really wouldn't want to do specific answer for that, but CBD will definitely help with the inflammation that sarcoidosis, because that's the complication that sarcoidosis has, is the inflammation. So really, really a great question. Let's see. I think we'll do one more. We've got a question from Sarah Elgret. Hi, for people who have Alzheimer's and early frontal epilepsy, besides what happens from breathing, okay. I think she wants to know if CBD can help people with Alzheimer's and frontal epilepsy. So Alzheimer's is an inflammatory condition. It's amazing that Alzheimer's actually has similar aspects in terms of inflammation that football players have with chronic traumatic encephalopathy. Same pattern of inflammation, and CBD can definitely help decrease the inflammation. It's not necessarily going to fix the dementia, but it tends to help people be more calm and not agitated. So I think that we'll end some great questions. We'll leave it for next time.
Well, Dr. Sharma, thank you so much. And thanks to each one of you that submitted questions that Dr. Sharma was able to answer live. And as soon as they were appearing on his screen, he was able to answer them. So let me remind all of you that thankfully, none of us need to be the kind of world-renowned experts that Dr. Sharma is about using our CBD products. The great thing about these products is you'll be able to share your own testimonials of the use of these products. My advice to you, however, is try to not be super specific about any disease conditions or specific health conditions, just because across the spectrum of different body types, different people, the experience might vary from person to person. But having said that, however, this is an amazing opportunity, as we often talk about in network marketing, to become a product of the product. And we can absolutely be confident that with the physician-formulated CBD products at ByDzyne, you're able to use some of the finest CBD-related products available anywhere in the world. So with my great encouragement and that of Dr. Sharma as well, we hope that you have tremendous experience as you use the ALLUR product line at ByDzyne. And once again, our gratitude to you, Dr. Sharma, for taking your time tonight to have joined with us for episode 20 of CBD 101.